My name is Raluca, and today I will be discussing the geography of oil, in particular oil in Asia and Africa. Oil has been a reason for military conflict and even invasion. In fact, a very important historical event took place when Iraq invaded Kuwait to gain access to oil reserves. The United Nations called for withdrawal of Iraq from Kuwait. However, due to lack of cooperation, Operation Desert Storm was launched against Iraq, which devastated the country. Oil has also been a reason for political alliances and cooperation. For instance, OPEC is a sort of organization of 15 nations controlling a great deal of oil. The OPEC oil embargo caused an energy crisis in 1973 in the United States that drove gas prices up and ultimately put a limit on how much oil cars could consume. Even though we have no large energy crisis these days, to this day, OPEC holds a lot of political power. Oil is also often related to having a negative environmental impact. For example, oil in Southeast Asia is causing problems in the environment. Water ends up being contaminated due to different chemicals, which is extremely bad for the countries living there that rely on this water on a daily basis. Contaminated water can be extremely harmful to the health of those living there. Biodiversity is also negatively impacted by these chemicals, harming ecosystems living in these areas. Oil is a crucial part of the economy in Asia and Africa, but even still, not all the money gets to where it needs to be, causing social issues. To give an example, Africa produces 10% of oil in the world, and the United States is a consumer of this oil. Due to growing oil industries in Angola and other countries in Africa, revenue is growing. Unfortunately, the people living where the oil is produced do not really benefit from it. One has to ask, where is this money going if not to the people? It is probably going to a handful of elite who do not care very much for the common population. Going back to what I was saying about oil being crucial to the economy in the other slide, this pie chart shows us just that. These are the different producers of oil compared to each other, how much oil was produced in 2012. It can be seen production in Asia is very large for oil. Most oil comes from Asia, even though the United States is the third largest producer. This makes the United States a very large consumer of oil coming from Asia and Africa. This is a map of what the economy of countries in Asia relies on. Oil is at the top of the most produced in Asia. Almost all countries in the Middle East and Central Asia rely on oil as the good they produce the most of. Oil has been the cause of much conflict throughout the world. Iraq invaded Kuwait simply to gain access to oil reserves, causing conflict with the United Nations and America, who launched Operation Desert Storm against Iraq. OPEC placed an embargo on oil, causing the energy crisis in 1973 in America, when the country found out it wasn't self-reliant on energy as it thought it was. Just because the oil industry grows doesn't mean that the people living in these oil-abundant countries actually benefit from it. In fact, environmental issues can come about due to oil, such as contamination of water and a negative impact on biodiversity. These are the links I used to find information or photographs in this video that played the music. Thank you for listening. I truly appreciate it, and have a good day.